Hey everyone, welcome to this weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast for the week of March 21st to the 27th of 2022. Alright, so quite a bit going on this week, at least especially the early part of the week, quite a few aspects. But generally, it is a good week to start to implement any insights from the last full moon. Last week around Friday, we had that full moon at the beginning of Virgo. So it's been about really implementing now a bit of that improvement nature, maybe some of that detail-oriented nature of Virgo into our lives. But with this, the early part of the week, we do have Mercury passing over Jupiter, going into Pisces with Jupiter. So there is certainly more emphasis into the Pisces realms. Our minds are going into here, our perceptions going into here with Jupiter as well. And so, as is always the case with Pisces, it's good to do our best to live presently, accept things more in the now moment, do things that are more soul-fulfilling for us, and connect more inwardly, as is always the case, and especially with the sun here, of course, this time of the year. So Tuesday, then Mars, the planet of action, starts to square up to erratic Uranus. So good day on Tuesday to be aware of constructive change and implementing things in our life that are constructive towards something we do want more freedom with, or to innovate, or something we're feeling we want to break free from. But again, constructively is really the key there with that square. And then Wednesday, Mercury will pass over Neptune, adding to that watery energy. We will be in the third quarter phase of the lunar cycle, which is again good to challenge ourselves, to implement insights from the full moon. And then the second half of the week is a bit quiet with a slight sextile between Mercury and watery Neptune. So let's go and take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. Alrighty, so here's the sky for this week. We're going to look at this for each day of the week, starting first with Monday, March 21st of 2022. And as you can see here, we are using the visible sky on this channel, which is very different from mainstream astrology, which unfortunately does not use the visible sky. And so the signs will change. A good example is that you may have heard me just say that the sun just entered Pisces, or is at the beginning of Pisces, or Mercury's about to enter Pisces. But you might be thinking, wait, these planets are already here. So if you are new to the channel, definitely check out the link down below for more information on using the visible sky called True Sidereal Astrology. All right, so let's go ahead and do a bit of a recap coming into this week. Where do we have all of the planets? So we still have Venus and Mars in Capricorn. So it is good for still enjoying and connecting in our lives towards things that maybe do require a bit of productivity or achievement or patience. Capricorn's very much about the long road. And so Venus is our values, Mars is our desires and how we're taking action. And so it is good to, again, align our enjoyments, align our desires with that long-term view. In anything in our life, either personally or interpersonally, since these are often very interpersonal planets, deal a lot with relationships. In either case, incorporating this, again, patient and persevering energy of Capricorn is a great way of working with that. What still is a very close conjunction between those two planets. Now, as I said, Mercury is going to be entering into Pisces this week, so it's happening right at the beginning of the week as Mercury passes over Jupiter, and then Jupiter will be entering into Pisces, and of course the sun is here. So the time of the year is, as it always is this time of the year, is good for that receptivity of Pisces, to connect inward, to listen to our soul, our feelings, right? Do things that are more soul-fulfilling, sometimes taking a little bit of space or time out, or just going with the flow a little bit more, right? So great time of doing this, connecting inward, reconnecting to our soul, basically, and to align our soul with whatever it is that we're focused on, right? And so that we are doing what is soul-fulfilling. So we are connected to our intuition and inner guidance and peace and surrendering what's outside of our control. All this is certainly becoming more and more the emphasis as these planets start to roll into here. All right, so that is the coming into the week. And as you can see here, a lot of the aspects are concentrated here this early part of the week. So let's go ahead and break this down each day of the week, starting first with Monday. So Monday, quite a bit. So Mercury is going to be passing over Jupiter. So Mercury is our minds, and Jupiter is the more abstract and expansive energies. And so this is typically a bit of an expansive mind we can have. Maybe we're thinking about things more in the bigger picture, like meaning of life, philosophy, letting the mind wander a little bit, maybe about opportunities as well, or a little bit of optimism, a bit of open-mindedness. So that's a great way of working with it, and in a sense it is a new beginning with this side of ourselves for the year. And so anything that is a bit adventurous with the mind or expansive with the mind could be a great day of working with, really late Sunday going into Monday here. All right, and this is, of course, as both planets start to enter Pisces, and so again, adding to that watery nature, doing what's important on a soul level. Our minds are going into the ethers here, right, with Mercury into Pisces. So it's important to, again, draw information from the soul and be connected to the soul. And Mercury oftentimes, does involve the routines. So it could be good for, again, a little bit of space or meditation or presence in that everyday routine. These are typically very good ways of working with this kind of transit. We can also have a very strong imagination during this transit, and so channeling that for those of you into the creative fields, or really any field, or anything that you want to channel a bit of that imagination or wandering mind or creativity or intuition into, again, is very strong, increasing as we come into the week. And then we just have a minor sextile with Mars and Chiron. So Mars, the most important thing with Mars is that Mars is going to start to square up to that erratic Uranus, which is going to take place here on Tuesday. And so here, especially around the Tuesday time period and even going into Wednesday, it is important to bring awareness to this, because this is quite a challenging energy to work with collectively. Of course, we're all experiencing it, so it doesn't mean it's going to affect us all in the same way, but the general principle is the same. There's a high frequency energy, an erratic energy, sometimes wanting to break free or maybe make some sudden changes or do some sudden things. And so we want to be mindful of that, just to make sure that we're not, acting on any erratic impulse or reacting to things when it's not really what we want to do, or breaking free too much to where it becomes too disruptive, right? Or asserting ourselves or taking some action or fighting for something too much to where it, again, isn't constructive. So this is the natural tendency. The natural tendency is towards that imbalance. But of course, we want to channel that constructively. So by being aware of it and seeing if there are things that we certainly can take action towards, that is constructive change, constructive freedom, constructive liberation, or breaking some chains with some things, this is a good way of working with it. But again, the mindfulness and the awareness really is the key here. And in this way, it becomes extremely constructive. This could be a great time of, again, doing things that are very much outside of our comfort zone. It's a good time around Tuesday to be aware of, are there some things that we're doing that are comfortable, right, in our lives that we can get outside that comfort zone with. Usually this transit does teach us a bit of flexibility, to be more flexible, to be more adaptive, to be willing to change a little bit of whatever it is we're used to, right? And again, towards anything that does require action or change or anything innovative or visionary. Could be a great way of working with it, and a very nice step in the right direction. All right, so that's certainly the challenging aspect of this week. And so just being mindful there. Also with anything physical or active, again, it's a bit higher frequency energy. So, just being mindful there around Tuesdays. Great. But as a result, very constructive moving forward for change, for freedom, for things that we do want to take action towards that are outside of our comfort zone, but we know we want to change or, implement. Okay, so that's definitely around the Tuesday. And this kind of Monday, Tuesday time period, the moon will be in Libra. So it is a good day for just striving towards balance, and we could be noticing some themes here regarding balance. So maybe some of the Libra energy can bring out relating stuff, so other relationships, agreements. So good to see both sides of the coin. Maybe there's some themes around finding that middle path, coming to mutual agreement, things like that. But in our personal life, again, approaching things in the more sense of striving towards balance is good. The South Node is right in the middle of Libra at the moment, so there's a lot of things being karmically worked out collectively right now about fairness, about what's right and just. And so maybe there's some things being released here around the Monday, Tuesday time period. If there is anything out of balance that we can bring back into balance during those couple days. Okay, so that's going on, and of course the sextile to Chiron means that maybe some of these actions could be healing. If there is anything that feels that would be healing, like physical exercise or taking some action, facing some fears or some wounds, again, hopefully constructively, but that could end up being healing or therapeutic. It's an opening for that with the sextile to Chiron. All right, so now as we start to get into the Wednesday time period, we'll really start to feel the watery mind, the Mercury in Pisces, because Mercury will then be going over Neptune. And as I've been saying, next month, Jupiter will go over Neptune. That is the yearly transit we have. But here, just adding to more of it, and probably a new beginning around Wednesday. If there is anything in your life that is, again, about using your mind or your mental capacity in such a way that it's towards something more soul-fulfilling in your life, or towards creativity or imagination or spirituality, right? Any of this could be the yearly new beginning for that moving forward. So again, especially Wednesday, a good time for that as we kind of ease up out of some of that erratic energy with the Mars square Uranus, and again, incorporate some of that connection with our soul, with our mind and our soul, our mind and our unconscious. Could get vivid dreams, all this, for example. So a great time of connecting there. All right, and the moon will be here going into Scorpio. We'll be officially in Scorpio and going into a Fucus into Wednesday. So it could be maybe some deep stuff still kind of getting worked out here. This is the third quarter moon of the lunar cycle, so it's typically where we do start to want to challenge ourselves. Again, it can be a very constructive week with the third quarter moon and this square with Uranus. And so maybe there's some things that we're implementing or challenging ourselves there those couple days. But moon in Scorpio, moon in a Fucus, good time to excavate, bring the deeper side of life and of ourselves to the surface, to again redeem, reconnect with the shadow, with the full aspects of life and the full aspects of ourself. And that late, right, so this is going to be Wednesday into Thursday, right? I hope I said that. Yep. Wednesday into Thursday. And then towards the later part of Thursday, the moon is going to pass over Ophiuchus, the galactic center in Ophiuchus, excuse me. And so this is always a very transformative part of the sky, right? The galactic center. And so it is that death and rebirth. And so again, by accepting and embracing anything deeper, we become healed and more healed and more rejuvenated. And so we could certainly be feeling that as we start to get into the later Thursday, but especially Friday time period once the moon enters Sag. And that is the more post-transformation, the more feeling free-spirited kind of energy. And it makes sense too, again, starting to slowly ease up out of that third quarter moon. So for the bulk of the weekend, at least, late Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, the moon in Sag does give us a bit of that free-spirited nature and post-transformative nature with the moon in Sagittarius. Okay, so along with this, just something very minor, Mercury will be sextiling Pluto. Sextiles are openings. Mercury is, again, our mind. And Pluto is the underworld, so it could be a good day for bringing, again, deep stuff to the surface here. But again, not feeling it so much with the moon not in Scorpion and Fucus any longer by this point, but more mentally. So maybe things like research or uncovering hidden things, maybe feeling a bit empowered with our communications as well. And just a little bit of support there with a bit of that empowerment with sextile to Pluto. All right, and then the weekends on Sunday with the moon shifting into Capricorn, which does make Sunday maybe good for any of those responsibilities, which of course is where that Venus and Mars are. So again, a bit of those responsibilities we could be enjoying or connecting with could be a good day on Sunday for. All right, everyone, so that is the week in a nutshell. Quite a bit going on astrologically, a lot of it concentrated in the early part of the week. And in this case, these shifts, first of all, into Pisces, more so into Pisces, which is for that more soul connection, right? And a theme and a new beginning, really, which is, again, continuing into April about doing things more important on a soul level and sometimes having to let things go, for things to flow and manifest, in our life. So living presently, all that is fantastic. We do have a bit of that erratic energy collectively with the fire, with Mars square Uranus. So channeling that constructively is also the main theme there, which makes it a very constructive week, being, or at least entering into that third quarter moon where the sun and moon square each other. And it makes it a good time to implement the full moon energy. So the insights from last week. And then the post-transformation, once the late Thursday into Friday, the moon is in Sag, bit of that free-spirited nature, and then easier to dive deep there with the mind or communication, at least an opening there on Saturday. All right, so everyone have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click the like button if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you're not yet signed up for MTZ Insiders, it is a newsletter where you do get these videos released first before YouTube. There's a link down below for that. But have a great week, everyone. Thank you again for all of your support. And I'll see you all next time for the next astrology forecast. Take care.